Okay, Monday morning in the kingdom, and I'm dragging my tushy on frickin' real. I laid down for a 20-minute nap yesterday, and I woke up 2 hours later to fresh baking by the staff. That was unreal. And then I just dragged my ass. I couldn't wake up. It's unreal. Plus, the staff has a toothache. Her teeth are bothering her because the weather's going to change. So we're going to have a relaxing day today. It won't be a full staff. We're going to do little loose ends. Yes, get these loose ends done like we should have done on Sunday. All right. So this morning we woke up to plus 11 on the government weather channel. Yes, and the Kingdom weather channel had plus 11, but the weather network had plus 15. I think it was stuck or something from yesterday. But feels like plus 11 this morning, twin temperatures. And then on the yo-yo scale, plus 52 Fahrenheit, but feels like plus 52. Yes. So I've got a couple of emails lately. I don't know. People are offended. They said it's Legion rules or flag etiquette, that the American flag, the ladies in honor of WASP, should not be higher than the Canadian flag. Guess what? Who cares? Flag etiquette is long gone in the new world today, as you can turn on the news and see flags around the world being abused. Okay? These flags here are for learning. Yes. The American flag back there is in honor of the ladies of WASP who flew that plane pulling a target. Yes, they would fly the plane pulling a target and the people on the ground would be shooting at it. Yes, doesn't that take bravery? Because I know if my ex-wife was flying that plane, oh, we'd have problems sighting in the gun. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. And also, too, like the flag of Oklahoma. That is on display there. It's a gifted flag. That is way people can learn how to spell Oklahoma, because I can't even get it close enough for Google to figure it out. Oh yeah, speaking of Google, it was having a hissy fit last night. Yes, I type in something I'm looking for, and it changed the spelling and everything, and then it just locked in. It wouldn't even give me anything. It wanted me to learn about that and look at that, and I'm sitting there, that's not even what I'm spelling. And I had this correct spelling because I checked, and I had it written in a book, so I knew that. So that's just unreal. The Google was all screwed up last night, and even Elon Musk was posting that too, that he was having troubles with Google. All right, so that's the flags. They're learning flags. It's for people to learn about flags from around the world and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know anything about flags and stuff, so that's what I say. Oh, I'm getting all confused. That's the joys of doing this intro sober. I can feel the sun on my face here. Let's scroll this way to see what it's doing. All right, so the sun is up there somewhere. Now I got a glare on the screen, and I can hear Dick warming up the helicopter, so I better be quick here. And we'll just scroll a little bit more. We're supposed to do firewood today, but that's been canceled due to it's Monday. Lack of interest. Yes, we have to have a day off. All right, but you also remember, I'm retired. My only goal in life is to finish these projects and enjoy boobies, not like my father. He had a hard time finishing all his stuff. Unreal. Yes, and I'm finishing some of his projects too. All right, we just about made the full rotation here. We're coming back to the flags. That'll offend some people. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. But no, these flags are for learning. It's to add color to the kingdom, and we appreciate them being donated from Kingdom followers, YouTube subscribers. That's why we have no problems in making a flag post and welding it on. Well, I better go. Here comes the boss. Even on a Monday, he's an asshole. Okay, just enough wind to make the educational flags happy. Off in the distance, you can hear the fire helicopters. Yes, they're a totally different sound. Those are those Hueys that were over in Vietnam. They make a distinctive whop whop. All right, so we're going to have a slow day today. Staff's just going to limp around or do loose ends at her house. I've already raked my dog pen, so now we can start with reassembling the UD-16 for the Adams grader known as Gomez. So it's going to be a slow, relaxing day, but we got to get these little things done. We got to put the front of the motor back together because we figured out the PTO for it, okay, for the live hydraulics. So now we can start bolting everything back together. And then if it stays nice out here, we can bring the Hobart Handler 100 out and attempt all the broken bolts on the rod. Yes, just a minor detail. Okay, we'll do a quick recap on the UD16. It's a smaller motor. It's basically based on the TD9 motor with the pistons, liners, and stuff like that. It has the 2-cylinder heads up top, which gives a dual exhaust, okay? But those heads are smaller than the TD18s. And the dead giveaway of this being a UD16, the injection pump is married to the front of the motor, okay, just like a TD9 and TD14s and all that kind of stuff. The TD18 pump has a little jack shaft here, and the pump is mounted over here, so it makes it harder to work on the fuel system, like the fuel filters and everything that are imaginary right here. But this is a smaller motor. So the reason why we're recapping, because last winter we got all the IH cats in the kingdom to have upgraded thermostats to 180 degrees from the 160s. Plus, we gave them circulation. Yes, you want the motor to get warm in here, but you also want the water pump right here to circulate the water in the motor to even it out. So I think that's why the IH cats were known for the cylinder heads cracking, because they didn't have water movement in here, all because of the thermostat design. We proved that. So we took all the cats in the kingdom that were running cold and running stupid and running retarded. We got them up to the 180 degrees and they run smooth, especially the TD18s. But the TD18s, we had to make a modified system to get the circulation of the water through the water pump right here. That's why there's two how would you say, outlets on the water pump. Okay, that doesn't go to the rad. All right, so we'll go in the shop to explain that. So changing the TD18s last March, okay, anything that oils and stuff like that along the head gaskets here, there was always a point where it was bubbly or boily, good, melting the grease and oil off, because we're always working on it. But it would only be in one location because that was getting warm because the water wasn't circulating, or the antifreeze, so it was had no choice but to get extra hot, and that's why the heads crack. So we figured it out. Okay, we're in the shop and we have the water housing, or whatever, the antifreeze housing. So this goes to the water pump, this goes to the motor. Okay, it's officially upside down. If you want, I can turn the camera over. Does that work, Les Netsman? Now everybody's confused. All right, enough of that fancy stuff. Stick to drinking alcohol. All right, so what we want the water, or the antifreeze in the motor to do is to come in here, go to the water pump, and go back to the motor, okay? But the way it's set up, when these thermostats are closed, nothing circulates. Yes, nothing. So it all waits until the thermostat gets hot, opens it up, and it goes to the radiator for circulation. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so this is, let's see here, we're playing cups and balls here, okay? So this is the original setup sort of thing. All right, seeing how that goes to the motor, there's the sending unit that gets warm. Once that gets warm, it opens up. But can we see holes through there, Les Netsman? All right, there's a little bit of holes there for water movement, very minimal. This is the cavity that you want the water to circulate through. Oh, hand and eye coordination. All right, so that's where you want it. So on the TD18s, what we did was take this and make it have a spout in here, okay? Oh, hand and eye. We had a spout in here. So the new style thermostats, all right, right here. Look at that, cups and balls. So in actuality, this got made smaller and it got raised up. So it'd have circulation until the water pump or whatever thermostat opened, and then it would send the water down into here and out to the rad for cooling. So that gave us great circulations on the TD18s, and we're very pleased with that. We did a different design on the TD6, TD9s, and we have full water circulation now, so we're very pleased. Also too, we had to cast weld on here to make the modification. Oh, I got the burps. I just had peanuts too. Okay, to make modifications. These are smaller than the TD18s, so if I screw up welding these being cast, I've created a problem because I don't have any spares. So what we're thinking right now, it's going to take a whole day to modify this for the full water circulation, okay, the antifreeze circulation. So knowing that this system kind of doesn't work, and there is kind of circulation holes here, because we can't put that thermostat in here because there'll be no circulation whatsoever. So we have circulation holes here, and these are what they're called for on all the cats or the farm tractors. So if we just plunk these in, put it on for now, get it up and running till we understand and know that this motor is good. We've only had it running on gas. We haven't had it running on diesel. So spending a day making the new style thermostats work, so the engine runs for 5 minutes and then falls apart, that might not be a good idea. Okay, insert picture of the TD18 with the housing with the full flow adapter thing that we made. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and I have everything ready for after lunch. Yes, we have the pink file folder gaskets cut out. We have the gasket goo. Everything's all buffed, clean, and ready to go. You can't bolt anything together. It all has to be simulated together and then tightened up. Yes, simulated like the Red Shoe Diaries, yes. So we have the bolts over here. The never sees, everything's ready to go, and the buffer, yes. All right, let's go have a quick lunch, and then we can get out here to enjoy the warm weather, the sunshine, and the frickin' mosquitoes. They're unreal. They're even in the shop here. Okay, I pre-assembled the thermostat housing on the workbench, and it was upside down, but I made sure that the long point is pointing down to the motor side. That way the thermostat sending unit or temperature feeling unit is right in here, okay? So you put it together with a little bit of gasket goo on the gasket, and you make sure these bolts are kind of loose, like not loose, but kind of snuggy loose sort of thing. Are you confused? If not, have a drink. And then you bring it out here and put it on here. And also too, I marked them here, one line, two lines, okay? Because this UD16 is a small version of the TD18, so we don't know if these are interchangeable or they're rights and lefts. You don't know, or fronts and backs. Plus, once I got this tightened up, then I could tighten up this, because then I knew it was centered, and I'm not, how would you say, putting stress on anything. So it has to free float to fit back together. And we marked on there no flow thermostats, July 2024. So that means there's no circulation whatsoever, and we'll make a note of this in the video. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom. If I'm quit, the sun will be behind those clouds and we won't have shadows. So we got the intake manifold bolted on, and there's the gas carburetor covered plate on there. So we're not using the gas side of this motor. We're leaving the old spark plugs in, but we did notarize which way the flapper thing goes for decompression. Yes, decompression, because they reduced the compression ratio so it can run on gas. So no carburetor, no magneto, but we leave the spark plugs in. Let's walk to the other side, because this will be an exercise video. Everybody needs their exercise. So over here, we're figuring out the starter. Yes, the electric start, direct start. Okay, so I got the tape measure out on a rare occasion, and I measured where this motor sits in the grater, the Adams 550, known as Gomez. Oh, these lips. So you can see I got the tape measure out. We marked it there. So this is where the battery box would sit on the grater, but it'd be out just a little bit farther. I tried it out a little farther, but it fell off. So we got batteries over here. These are the love batteries, because anytime you go to use them, you have to put a charge in them. But if you use them every day or start the cat or drive around, you're okay. But if you let them sit for 2 to 3 months, they kind of self-drain, you know, sort of thing, self-destruct. Well, so we have to give them a little charge. So in theory, they should fit in this box. And then I saved myself a ton of time. Instead of in the shop trying to find the pieces in there, I think we took that Sunday and organized all the battery cable ends. So I just went to the Trader One and grabbed some battery cables that already had the ends on. So look at this. This is the back two to join to make two 12-volt batteries work in series to keep 12 volts. We got a ground and we got a positive here. So that worked out very well. We want to be able to crank this motor over, but not to start it, because we need oil pressure. We have to get everything loosened up and get oil pressure. Plus we have to reinstall the injection pump. But I want to read up on it and check it over, because it's been 7 years since we had it, but we never had it running on diesel. I forget why we didn't have it. I think it's because the starters died and we gave up, and you can't really tow start the grater to get it going. All right, so here we got the other parts here. We have the solenoid for kick starting the starter. We have the push button for the solenoid with the master switch. Everything has to have a master switch, okay? So it'll be like the D69Us. We'll make a little control panel in here, somewhere along in here, you know. And then I've also marked here the decompression. So on this side here, it's decompressed. It'll spin over easy because it was running on gas. And you flip it that way, it's to run on diesel. because you got to remember the actual controls for the throttle body and everything will be inside the grader. So we're not going to be inside the grader to start it, because we'll be out here standing beside it, and then we can give it a sniff of ether. Yes, a sniff of ether, bunny, to get it to run, excited to get it started on diesel. All right, let's go have a beverage, because this is hard work, all this thinking, but saving time. Taking a Sunday out, instead of going to the church picnic, we organized the battery cables, and now look at it now. So now I can have a beer to celebrate the time saved. Okay, after coffee in the kingdom, I'm going to work in the shop. That sun is hot. It seems to be humid out. Okay, so we got a piece of material here. Everybody else would call it scrap metal. We call it reusable, repurpose, and recycle. So they had this little bolt thing here, this nut thing right there. So we'll put the start button there. And the master switch here, because we have to have easy access to the underside of it, because we have to hook up the cables. And the solenoid, because we want to be able to thump the starter solenoid. We want to thump it good, so we want big power going there, so we give it a thump with that, through that. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. I learned to use it. I wasn't using those about 30 years ago and created a lot of problems, like when I said I do. So let's get to work on this. And as you notice, there's no tape measure involved. It'll all be by feel, just like in the bedroom. Okay, just about 5:30 in the kingdom, and we got it wired in. Oh yes, as a disclaimer, I'm colorblind. Yes, so do not try this at home unsupervised unless alcohol beverage is involved. Okay, so there's the piece of recycled steel that was ugly and everything, kind of like the ex-wife. Oops, shouldn't have said that. But you apply the buffing wheel and the grinder and the wire wheels, and it looks beautiful. Yes, which are turned out pretty good. Nothing straight, nothing's true, but that's the fact. Okay, so there's our power switch on, off. And the start button, boom, boom. All right, so over here, okay, there we go. So let's have everybody stand back and we'll focus here. So being colorblind, we use one color of wire, and that is black, like Blackie Lawless from Wasp, black forever. Yes, and we're using gifted electrical tape from Kingdom followers, YouTube subscribers. We have the gifted tie straps from Kingdom followers, YouTube subscribers. Oh, these lips. And this was a godsend today. These here were gifted around Christmas time, and they are unreal. We just trimmed up the holes in here to make them fit. No die grinding, no getting the big drill bits out. And then we had one copper lug down here that had to be enlarged. No problem. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread or beer in a can. I mean, a bottle. Yeah. So that's pretty nice. So what we've done here, this will go to the battery like we've done on all our other projects. You always put the battery side on the inside of the master switch, because you want to add more to here, because we have lights, we have air conditioning, we have stereo system, all that kind of stuff to be added on. So this will be our power draw side. And in back here, this is a solenoid. Make sure you ground it. Yes. So this is tied into here. This goes down to the starter. So that goes on to the starter. That's the ignition excite thing to make it kick in. And that's the ground. I don't know if you can see the yellow there, Les Nessman. Can you see that? So that'll go on the ground of the starter. So that way everything up here is grounded. Just like an airplane, the ground is very important on everything for us. We also shrink wrap everything because we live in the cold wilderness up here. So the shrinkage and everything in their dirt and dust, that's a little step you have to do. Everything is reused, recycled, that's used, and that was recycled again. So that turned out very well. So we're very pleased with that. And also too, I left the markers outside in the sunshine, so when I touch it, they just, wow, it just flows right out. All right, let's go install this on the motor, but we can't crank it over because there's no injection pump, but it's the thought that counts, like the Red Shoe Diaries on Showcase. Okay, that didn't take long to install, but it worked out well. So we got the power coming from here. Notice the temporary mounting bracket thing. They'll probably be there for 25 years. All right, so the master switch turns everything on, gives it power, and we have the power go down to here. So that'll kick it in, and we have the ground wire going over to here. So that way everything is grounded. That's the key to things. So we used one of those core boxes and clamps from the portable flag thing that was on the container shed there, or the canopy shed, and we put the batteries here. So this is simulation because this is where it will be when it's on the grader. So we got that figured out. So now tomorrow, hopefully, if we're sober enough, we can figure out this injection pump here, and then we can start cranking it over to get oil pressure and make sure everything is happy in the motor, because it was 7 years ago in 2017 when we had it up and running. But we're very pleased how today turned out well. Yes, turned out well. No tape measure involved. All right, let's go check on the flags.
Monday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 9 a.m. and I'm getting out of bed. I had a pretty long night. My wisdom teeth are coming in, so they are extra sore. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 18 degrees Celsius, which is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. Not sure if we'll be doing much in the kingdom today. My dad is also still pretty sore, so let's head inside, let the dogs out, and make breakfast. Around 1 p.m. or so, I'll head to the kingdom. 11 a.m. and I just got the quad and trailer out. Now I'm in behind the house cleaning out the dog pen. Shouldn't take me very long. Then at 1 p.m. I'll go dump it at the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. So let's get going. Almost 11:30 and I just finished cleaning out both of the dog pens. Now I can head inside and put a warm cloth on my face because my wisdom teeth are pretty sore today. It is really hot out, so I'll also do the weather while I'm in there. Right when I was about to go inside, I look over. Not sure if you can see those, but we got some raspberries coming in. Maybe it'll be time for me to go berry picking soon. Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to head over to the kingdom so I can see what my dad's up to and drop off all my poo from the dog pens. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 24 degrees Celsius, which is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. I didn't have much of a lunch because I'm not feeling the greatest. My teeth really hurt, so now let's head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's doing. Just after 1 p.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like we're not doing anything today. My teeth are really sore. I'm not sure if you can see it on either side, but my cheeks are pretty swollen. I'll grab my dog treats and head on back into WHO-ville and do the mail. Around 2 p.m. or 4, I'll come back and drop everything off and see what my dad's up to. 1:30 and I just made it back from the kingdom and put the quad trailer away. Now I'll head inside and let the dogs out, and then around 2 or 2:30 I'll head back up and do mail and then go to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. Just after 2 p.m. and now I'll head up into WHO-ville and go do the mail. Then I'll go back to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. Not sure if there'll be anything in the mail, but let's go find out. On my way back to the kingdom after checking the mail, I wanted to stop up at my berry picking spot. As you can see, a bunch of the blueberries are starting to come in. I'll give it a couple more days and then I'll be out here berry picking. Look how big some of them are. 2:30 and I made it back to the kingdom. Now I have to climb up on the ladder and clean off the cameras because they are covered in spider webs. So when night vision comes on, all you can see is the spider crawling around on his webs. So then I can head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather around 5 p.m. 5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 26 degrees Celsius, which is 78 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty nice out there so far today. We do have some dark clouds rolling in, but it is a nice wind, so it keeps the sandflies away. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, 6 o'clock in the kingdom. That sun is hot and it's humid here, so we know there's going to be thunder boomers. So let's scroll this way for a change. Yes, we're going scrolling right. Yeah, we always go the other way. I don't know why. All right, I think that's natural way to go. All right, so look at the clouds over here. This is not good. Yes, we're going to have a thunderstorm tonight. Hopefully I don't get zapped by lightning again. That was unreal. My head is still ringing or hurting. Oh, maybe the booze. I don't know. All right, look at the flags. They're relaxing and enjoying themselves. Yes, they're the flags, the learning flags. Let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and call it a day. Talk to you later.